My grandfather is a magician. Well, not the sawing a lady in half, pulling a rabbit out of a hat kind of magician, but he can do a pretty cool trick. When my mom was little, she would be waiting in the car with her siblings and her mom for her dad somewhere, like a gas station or a bank. Her mom would look out the window and say, "Watch your dad. He's going to make that man he's talking to smile in 3, 2, 1. They would look out the window, and sure enough, the man who was frowning 1 minute ago was laughing at something my grandfather had said. I've noticed him do that too, going out of his way to make people laugh and smile. He's always got something up his sleeve, just like a true magician would. One day, years later, I stumbled upon this cartoon that reminded me of him. Here we see a father teaching his son how to transform an everyday situation into something that can bring a smile to someone's face. It got me thinking of how that I could turn someone's day around. And then I realized that's exactly what magicians do. I also realized that I could be a magician too. We all can. And I'm going to teach you how. I did a quick Google search of what makes a good magician. I soon learned that a good magician learns about magic and gets to know other magicians, practices magic, and performs as much as possible. I realized that I was already doing a lot of these things, and you probably are too. To learn about your own magic, we have to do a little thinking and a little research. I know, but this is fun research, I promise. First, brainstorm a list of things that you love to do and are good at doing, or that you want to get better at. Can you make people laugh like my grandfather? Can you paint pictures? Can you write poetry? Can you bake really yummy cookies? Can you say the alphabet backwards? Your magic is something you're not afraid to share. It could be kindness, empathy, writing, doing service, or anything else. In fact, you might have to try all of these things to find a specific magic act that fits your identity. This is also a great way for you to find out more about yourself. So let's make a list of things that inspire you or that you are good at and love to do and add them to your box of magic tricks. Finding my act was difficult because there are just so many things that we can discover about ourselves and our identity. But knowing what I've learned, it usually has something to do with your ancestry. My grandfather was a poet. Many people knew him, but he wasn't necessarily famous like Robert Frost or Edgar Allan Poe. But that taught me that you don't have to be famous to write poetry. I started to write poetry, and I was entranced in the beauty of it. The words just flew out of me like a song that you sing. After I learned of poetry, I started having poetry calls with my grandfather. He taught me to follow my heart and not worry what other people thought. Later in the year, I took a course with a woman teaching named Jacqueline Suskin. She is a poet that I absolutely adore. She said to find at least 10 things that bring on appreciation to you in that very room you're in before you start writing. I started practicing that, and sure enough, my poetry improved, and I was very happy with my creations. I also got more and more confident in sharing my poetry with people outside of my family. On video calls, they organized a topic each week, and everyone that wanted to participate would write their very own poem around that topic. I was brightened by the different ideas and creations that people could use to their advantage to bring out the poetry in themselves. Next, good magicians learn from other good magicians. So look out for people that are doing things that are amazing and different. You can watch other TED Talks, read new books, talk to new people, make new friends, and find out what inspires them. I've learned so much from other people because of what they've shared with me. Everyone is a teacher, even when they teach you what not to do. Good magicians practice a lot. They get good at things you love. Practice baking or write every day. Becoming a good magician doesn't just happen. You have to work at it. That might mean a lot of broken wristwatches, burnt cookies, or bad poetry. But at some point, it becomes easy and effortless. That is a second nature to share. Next, good magicians perform as much as possible. You cannot get better without going out there in front of an audience and speaking your mind. This allows you to gain more confidence and be okay with making mistakes. One of my favorite TED Talks is by Jia Zhang, who made a goal to get over his fear of failure. He went every day and did hard things to build up immunity over getting the answer no. I've tried it, and even though it might give you terrible anxiety, it really helps you get over not being scared in other situations that you will have later in life. And now, I'd like to share some of my favorite magic tricks. Sharing poetry and writings. Telling people they are beautiful. Asking people to share jokes with me. buying special gifts for people, and using your talent to make other people happy. And I know that there are many more magic tricks that we can explore. So go out and use some tips from this talk and from other people's talks, and make the world a more magical place for all humans to live on. And I know that they say a good magician never shares their secrets, but you can share these ones. In fact, I believe the more the secret is shared, the more magical this world can become. Thank you.